Gotta love when that happens. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Design Days. This is kind of the same as we did for Chronicles of Design for Dragonlance. We're going to be going over everything Corpse Talk. We're going to be designing the rules. We're going to be watching a little video here up front on how the game is played. This is provided by another streamer who does some amazing work. This is the World of Game Design. We're going to be looking at that right here at the top, going through it, taking notes, getting things ready for ourselves, and how we want this to function for the show. The goal is one of the last days of this month, we're going to be having our first monster/dungeon build for the live audience of StreamLoot cards. And then we'll go into an interview the first week of September. So enough of this. You guys have seen enough of this. Let's get into this. Give me a sec here. Let me find my piece. Hello, everybody. Hello. We're going to be going over a bunch of stuff today. How loud's the music in here? It's a little loud for me on the back end. How's the music for you guys on your end? Pretty good? Should be at like minus 40. Looks good? Sounds good? No complaints? I know we're on a delay. I feel like the delay keeps getting longer and longer. That's what I feel like. So, you can see we already have a kind of like the Corpse Talk animated background piece that's moving. This is the thing we built last time. We have done a ton of stuff here. Let me pull up Canva as well, because I have a feeling we're going to need that. Too quiet? Is that better? You know why? Hold on. This is going through a website, so that's why. This is the song I use for Soil. This is a White Bat. Love this guy's stuff. So, we've done a bunch of design work already. And today we're going to be going over the idea of building not only the talk show, but also how the game is played, Mork Borg itself. And we're going to go through how character generation works, and we're going to go through how we're going to take those rules and change them and apply them to Corpse Talk. Anytime I do a show, I do my best to kind of change up how things function. I always add new rules, new things we do. Dragonlance, I made it a little bit more deadly. So on and so on and so on. So, with that in mind, let's talk about how we're going to do this today. I have Mork Borg open here. I have the book. The book is small. It's only 96 pages. With 96 pages, that gives us the ability to pretty much scan through and read all of it and be ready for how the game's going to play in an afternoon. Like, that's kind of the point behind it, which is great. I love it. It works great for that. A lot of random tables, things I've noticed myself that we need to be adding tables. If you look at Mork Borg's GM screen, that also has pieces in it that go on each side, and each side of them have like little inserts in yellow. So I'm thinking about making some of those designs to go on the cathedral-like screen that they made as well. I feel like this is the wrong thing. We don't want this up right now. We want, let's see if we can get Hellraiser. Huh? There we go. So I found this right here. Check out this craziness. So I want to make some random tables at some point in time. I know that's going to be a part of it. We've already kind of decided all of our fonts and all that kind of stuff, and I'm pretty happy with everything we've built so far. Like, it's pretty good. So if we go over to the design table here, let me get rid of this. Let me bring down the shutter here. Is this one? Here we go. You can see here this lovely piece. This is all the design work we did last show. I'm just scrolling through so everybody can see it that maybe wasn't here. just test pieces for the look. In this, we changed our fonts up a little bit. We tried all the different colors that we like. Sample of a 2-page, right? This is what we did for this. It turned out really well, okay? And then after we did that, we did our XD stuff. I mean to do that. And this was our XD work. This was all of our layout for what we want the show to look like. And there's a lot here, everybody. Like, there's a lot. And this is our title screen, rough timer spot, our title position, my logo, the guest logo, and you can see this is for intermission. These pan down to here. This is the intermission full video trailer. This is the intermission with ads and merch. This color might change, but we love the tattered page look to match what we found in Mork Borg. Up here, we have a title and text scroll for end screen. I think this is going to be people who supported, maybe all the people who have died. There may be a wall of shame, a wall of death, I think, at some point, like obituary style. Then text and time, or dates and times, and next show. Now, if we go down, I moved it over here. We have my cam, right? My cam with map. The map will slide underneath. My cam with browser and info, and that will slide underneath. We have our guest cam. They're on the opposite side, and you'll see why in a minute. This will slide in and out from underneath. Browser info, same thing. The reason we did the split like that is we tried 2 different guest cams. This is going to be one style with bigger cams. They also have their own solo cam. And there'll be one where my cam's bigger and they overlap the corner. And I think art will go in the corner here. It's kind of the game plan. Probably logo or the Corpse Talk logo will go right over the middle of it to give it that kind of gritty design. Grunge design. And then 2 cam with map. And then we did this split cam with browser info. And you'll notice it matches the positioning for here. So if we were to go from single cam guest and map, right, while they're making decisions, and we transition to here, it would shrink them down, slide me in, and the browser info would come in from the background, which is pretty cool. And then we have the same thing for our topic question or our message. And then we have our stats, and then we have our guest cam again. And then in case they have a split cam, like 2 people in the same location, kind of like Diana and Adam, we've designed these, and I think this will get split into a rectangle above, 2 rectangles. And this is the last piece I need to design, but until I do the overlays, I can't really do that yet. So this is what we did yesterday in 2 hours. Today, we're going to be going over the rules and ideas for Corpse Talk and how to get it done, what we want it to look like, how we want it to function, all of our rules, ideas, and going through it. And I think, for me, the best way to do that is watching somebody else's video. Fiona, my dog's growling. Stop. This is the best idea. This is the best way to do it, I think. So we're going to go over this. It's a pretty short video. It's 12 minutes. We'll pause and kind of talk through it. I love the stuff from World of Game Design. They do some amazing work. And I'm not going to watch the full video because the beginning is kind of an intro to the system. For us, it's really about learning the mechanics. So I have my notes here that we can transition things over. I'm going to make a note sheet to talk about that we are going to use during. I have a whole, for those who don't know, I collect like coins to play with while I'm doing design work. So these are all like really unique coins pieces. I have like a Death in Memoriam coin that I have right now. It's like a weird black on black. I like a lot. It's actually what inspired the shirt. It's a real fun system. Yeah, you had your first experience at GaryCon, right? Playing that? Isn't that right, Serving Hands? You went off on your own, got to go play a game. If I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's very user-friendly, which is why I wanted this for the show. So, you saying that was user-friendly is the entire reason I decided to do this. Because if you can sit down and play a game at a convention, I think your first tabletop con was GaryCon, maybe it was PAX Unplugged, but one of your first ones, you sat down, played it with a mirror, and yeah, exactly, with a mirror, and you learned it in a matter of no time. I think that's a great way to use it. And if I'm sitting down and running an interview with somebody, the idea of using a very simple system seems like the right idea. 5e takes a long time to make a character, and this does not. This literally has its own character generator, like legitimately. So let me pull up that too. Mork, Borg, character generator. I think it's called Scrimborg or something. So you can see here on Chrome, literally kill a character, make another, kill a character, make another, kill a character, make another, kill a character, make another. See, you can see the whole concept, and it builds them, and it puts them out, and you can download them and pimp them out and do whatever you want. Yeah, very helpful. So, for this, I decided we were going to watch this video. So let me pause our music, all right? And then we're going to blow this up full screen, okay? And let's go through this. I'll pause it, and we'll kind of talk about it and go over everything.
And just like D&D,
can you guys hear this okay?
20 for almost everything. Every player character has 4 abilities. Agility, think dexterity from D&D. Strength, think strength from D&D. Toughness, think constitution.
4 ability scores.
And presence, which is a odd catch-all that's like wisdom, charisma, ranged combat, and magic affinity, all rolled into one. Your ability scores are determined by rolling 3d6 for each one, though there are optional rules for classes that modify this. If you have a 9 to 12 in an ability, your modifier is 0. So if your strength score is 10 and you want to swing your club against a lich, that's a bad idea, you'll roll a single d20 and add nothing. Having a score below 9 is going to come with a negative modifier, and anything above...
Okay, so that's pretty simple. Ability scores are normal. Four scores. I love that there's 4 ability scores. I think that's great.
Above 12 gets you a little bonus. This means that it's going to be very common for starting characters to have several negatives and maybe only a single positive modifier. Anytime you roll an ability test, you'll be going up against a difficulty rating, a target number. If you hit the target number, you're successful. Fail.
Quite the collection here for this guy. And I love these Star Wars posters, which, by the way, I know this isn't game design. I'm super excited for Ahsoka. But, yeah, really has a lot here. Does anyone know what this map is? I wonder what that map is.
And you fail. All difficulty ratings default to 12, unless the Game Master determines otherwise. Couple this with the dismal modifiers, and you're all set for a game full of failure. As a player, you're really going to want to find ways of setting the odds to your favor. With an average roll of an 11 and an average modifier of 0 at base level, you'll be failing slightly more often than you succeed. Clever tactics, hard-won magic items, and party coordination are a near necessity for those characters still desperately clinging to life. I think the only other thing we need to note here is that this is a very player-focused rolling system, meaning the game wants the players to be the ones rolling dice, not the GM. We'll cover that more later. There's
so I don't
2
roll
ways to
dice.
make a character in Mork Borg.
Works for me.
The first is a classless build. Easy and simple. Start on page 26, then head back to page 16, and then follow it through, rolling on a bunch of tables, until you hit page 24. Then bounce to page 39 and continue to page 43 for a bunch more table rolling. Like I said, easy. We could go more into that way, but I think it's best to build characters with the not-so-optional classes that start on page 46. So that's where I'm going to focus. The classes are full of cool, dark flavor that really helps you get into the mindset that the designers
I like the classes a lot.
You won't find a paladin, bard, or righteous cleric here, nor will you find wizards, sorcerers, or other powerful mages. Nope. Instead, you'll get things like gutterborn scum, which are really like a rogue, wretched royalty, and the occult herb master, which is kind of like a druid, but
I might have to
with
design
a
my own
portable
class.
laboratory. You won't find a bunch of new mechanics in any class. Leveling is pseudo-optional and fully left into the guiding hands of the GM. Instead, you'll get some additional ways to modify your starting ability.
Might have to design our
scores
Undead
just
Knight.
a smidge. A tweak or two to your starting equipment, and a couple random tables to roll on that help you generate a quick origin and give you a neat ability or two that's chock full of flavor. Once you're done there, pop back over to page 26 to roll your ability scores.
Okay.
Then dash to page 18, and abiding by any new guidance from your classes, roll on each table to determine your starting equipment through page 24. Buy additional extra...
This seems like a lot of jumping around for character creation in this book. Am I wrong? Like, I feel like there is more jumping around in this character creation. Like, at least the way he's saying it. Has anyone else made a character? Is it really this much jumping around? AW, if you're just joining, we're going over the rules of Mork Borg. I'm taking notes so that I can design the talk show. And know the Mork Borg rules, how they function.
Equipment on page 25, and then finish it out with the personality and history tables that start on page 39. Now, the only thing we haven't talked about yet is powers. You probably know these
it's
better
supposed to be
as
sloppy,
magical
I think.
spells. Some classes, not all, have an affinity for using these powers, but no matter your level of understanding, you'll first need to find a scroll in order to cast anything. Only a few classes start with a scroll, and typically only one. All character magic in Mork Borg is centered around these scrolls of power. No scroll, no power. If you have scrolls and your class allows you to use them, you'll be able to utter an incantation a number of times per day equal to your present score plus D4.
Okay.
More information on powers can be found on pages 34.
So presence per day.
Let's finish out the video with a chat.
I find writing down
you should expect
the notes for how to build and making my own cheat sheet makes it a lot easier for me to remember things. And I write them all out, and then I usually prep it after that. Yeah, I would do that too. I would do pre-gens too. They're going to get just handed a character sheet. More on that later, though.
A lot of combat in this game, and it is way, way simpler than D&D or probably most any other RPG you've played before.
I hate ring lights, by the way.
At the base level, it's gridless, so you won't be calculating feet or meters of movement unless you want to slot this in. To begin a combat, first start with initiative. The GM rolls a d6, and on a 1 to 3, the enemies all go first. And on a 4 to 6, the players get that opportunity. Determine individual initiatives within a group by rolling a d6 plus agility. On your turn, you can take a single action and traverse, quote,
so 1 to 3,
a normal-sized room.
GM.
Once combat begins, players will be rolling for both attacks and defense. All hits, all attacks.
I'm going to rewind this a bit.
Turn, you can take a 6 initiatives within a group, 3. The enemies all go first.
Okay.
And on a 4 to 6, the players get that opportunity.
Okay.
Determine individual initiatives within a group by rolling a d6 plus agility.
So there is group initiative, and then there's your side of the table initiative. Is that how that works? So this would be table inish. And then it sounds like after table inish, you do PC inish, which is 1d6 plus AGL. Okay.
On your turn, you can take a single action and traverse, quote, a normal-sized room. Once combat begins, players will be rolling for both attacks and defense. All hits are determined by the roll of the player die. If you're playing on Roll20, when a player takes damage, they actually roll that damage themselves as well.
Oh,
delicious. Wow. When a player character wants to hit a creature, they'll roll either a strength attack for melee or a presence test for ranged attacks or casting a power. They'll roll agility tests for defense. Unless the creature stat block says otherwise, the player is shooting for a 12 or better, with rules for critical successes and failures. When a game master attacks a PC with a creature, again, the PC will make an agility test for weapon attacks, and most often a presence test for powers used against them. Again, shooting for 12, unless the creature stat block says otherwise. Additionally, armor comes into play.
I will say his video is edited really well, by the way. Or if you're royalty, you have an addition. Yeah, so when we played, Amir had monkeys that fought for him. No joke. Like literally had monkeys that fought for him. It was pretty wild, to be honest with you. I was kind of surprised by it. Like I wasn't expecting him to have monkeys in his thing, and they messed everybody up when we played at Gen Con. Like, I mean, everybody up. Yo, he was serving his royalty. Okay. That makes sense. All right, cool. I didn't know that. Did not know that at all. Let me delete this. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that at all. What the fuck? Hold on here. I accidentally deleted something. And I want to listen to this, so I can't dick around. Hold on here. I'm fixing something here. Huh. Well, what the hell? What the hell? I'm trying to fix a source here. 1 second. There we go. Lock that. Lock that. There. Okay. Back to
Play
this.
here. Armor gives you a die to roll whenever you take damage that reduces that damage. The die could be a D2 all the way to a D6.
Roll die.
That said,
reduce damage.
Armor also raises the base difficulty of your agility tests, so it's going to be harder for you to avoid attacks themselves.
Also raises,
but you'll be able to reduce all the damage you take.
AGL
Depending on the type of armor you're wearing, you could be raising that DR12 standard up to a DR14.
Oh.
2 more things, and I'm going to let you go. Hit points. Hit points work very similar to D&D, in that they are based off your toughness score and start out around 5 or 6. When you take a hit that reduces you to 0 or fewer hit points, you are broken, and you'll roll on the broken table, which has results from falling unconscious to dying. If you manage not to roll death, you'll still be in the broken state, and any further damage kills you outright. Simple as that.
Easy.
You'll recover hit points at a rate of D4 per catch your breath and take a drink, and D6 per restful sleep. Finally, we come to that last element of combat, and it is creature morale. Now, player characters don't have morale, nor often morals, but every enemy stat block has a morale score ranging from...
There are often morals. Look, he's not wrong. Players have morals only when they are good for them. Only when they are good for them. Do they ever have morals? I'm just saying.
1 to infinity. Most often from around 7 to 11.
I'm excited to make monsters.
will roll a morale test for...
So like when we go to make monsters, look at this sheet. We're basically going to get really cool art from artists that I know, from friends of the show, maybe even fan art that gets submitted. I'll make monsters around. And then with that monsters, and I can use old medieval art and draw over top of it, stuff like that, and literally create monsters around them, and it's this much space. That's it. Like, that's all it takes, a single sheet. So I'm excited to be able to build these as, like, little scream sheet pieces. I say scream sheets for those who...
Enemy creatures, when their numbers are reduced
I'm excited for this.
Less than half, or if you're fighting against a single creature, if its total hit point count goes below 1/3. The GM will roll 2d6, and if the number is below the morale score of that creature, the creature will flee or surrender. So your typical combat will be fast and brutal with low amounts of hit points to start with, and a morale system on the back end. It'll be a rarity that you encounter those types of fights that take up an entire session. That's it, folks. Of course, there are things we didn't cover, but you should have a pretty good idea of what you're getting yourself into. It's really, really simple. Like, I was chatting with another Mork Borg creator at a recent convention, and he made the statement that this game is 100% style and absolutely no substance.
Okay.
The book itself is what's intimidating, and I hope you
style, no substance.
Feel like you have the groundwork for making a game happen.
Why the fuck
it's
not?
It's really fun.
Why
it's
not?
A great world to play in, and I've had an absolute blast running it for my players. If you like this video, consider subscribing to our channel. We have a lot of great content and different playlists, all centered around
this guy does great
more
work
RPGs
based around stuff. So for
those
those who want someone to
watch, we
watch,
also have our very own
check his stuff out.
Adventure, 7 Aboard the Shackle, written by yours truly. It centers around a prison ship adrift upon the endless sea, commandeered by 7 escaped prisoners and hell-bent on drowning what remains of the world.
We met this guy.
Vanity. Think of it as a prison crawl through a randomly generated, massive galleon version of Arkham Asylum.
Awesome.
It's crazy. If you watch this video in January or February of 2022, the project is live on Kickstarter. If you're watching from the far future, you can likely find it on our website, wogd.com. Finally, we have a podcast. It's called Geeks Cant, and it features myself and a couple of my Yahoo Game Master friends chatting about topics that came up at our tables, Kickstarters, RPG news, and interviewing creators by the dozens.
This is a good little piece. So with that said, we need to talk about how we want to do game design for this. I think that it's going to be it seems pretty simple to be 100% honest. It seems very simple to do. This is the layout for it. Like, I feel like I understand it well enough to make stuff for it. But man, you bounce all over the place to make a fucking character. Like, legitimately bounce everywhere. A lot of this is fluff and story. Like, a lot of it is. When will this all end? Illustrating the game as Game Master rolls a die each dawn, resulting in one activity, one misery. The die used is determined by the GM and the group. The GM rolls D6 to determine which misery occurs. The same misery will not befall the world twice. The 7th misery will always be 7-7, and the world finally dies. The 7th seal is broken for the 7th and final time. The game and your lives end here. Burn the book. What a genius piece of design. I didn't know that was part of the game. Turn this down a little bit. That's amazing. A little chart here. That's so cool. How do you get 100? It's assuming a D6 is just 2d6, 1 place, 10's place, right? That's what I would guess. Did we talk about the dice up here in the beginning? See if I can get it to fit. There we go. Huh. What's the grift? So this is their set piece. So I'm going to be designing a setting as well. And I think the aberrational world that I'm making, maybe it makes sense that it's after this happens. You know what I mean? Maybe that makes sense. I'm going to go like this again. We're going to go to single page view. Enable scrolling. I mean, as hard as they were to find for a while, Todd, I doubt anyone burnt their book. Trying to find a Mork board book from 2011 through 2022 is a pain because it got so popular so fast. Now you can literally order it on Amazon. So let's pull this up. So I got my rules and ideas. I don't need this. I just need this. So let's talk about things that we should do. I know, let's get our headers out here, right? I'm gonna do a break here. I know that I need to create our headless knight. Okay. I'm gonna go like this and just put gibberish. I know, don't burn your book, kids. I know that I need to create the corpse walk back. The soul, it would be the soul walk. Because the goal is to walk back to your corpse. They're normally called the soul runs. I need to do this. This is going to be, I already know some of this. We need rapid fire questions. Gain 1 HP back for each right answer. Okay. And then can add to the treasury. No, I don't want to do that one. That'd be something else. So that's that. And then we also need to do monster build rules. So we need to have sheet, actually template to fill out for monsters on VTT. We're currently looking at using alchemy. I have a meeting with them on Monday. But there are other VTTs out there if that does not work out. My goal is to have pre-established pieces to where I can quickly make monsters with you during the live show once a month. We need rules for powering up monsters using SL cards. We need hard limits on mobs, no limits on bosses, because I don't give a fuck how hard the bosses are. If they're gonna keep pounding their head against that boss over and over again, that is up to them. If you've ever played Elden Rings, you know that they don't give a shit about you when you were fighting bosses. And that's kind of the feel I want when you're fighting bosses here. And then we need, for sure, interview view rules. For now, I know that every piece, every offer to the treasury gains them 1 item. Okay. And then on top of that, every, I have to put a Y on this. Let's see here. Every what? How else do I want to do this? Every. Every offer to treasury gains them 1 item. The treasury is pretty cool. The treasury is going to be the thing that is used at the end of the season that the audience gets to try to win prizes from. Win treasure from. We already got a series of things that are added in from fans of the show. But we have a whole bunch of stuff that's getting added. So I'm excited for that. MDKs all the way. That's all I'm looking to do is murder people. Every death triggers a soul run. I like corpse walk. Corpse run. To run to your corpse. I think I like corpse run better for corpse talk. But we'll pick a name later. Every question answered. I'm just repeating myself here, but just so I have it answered. It should be every rapid fire. Rapid fire question. They get right, gets them 1 HP. I think at the end, they roll 1d2 for items they leave for the next guest. I might do 1d. Yeah, 1d2. I don't want too many options for the guest. Body snatch? No, because you're not snatching. You're taking your body back. You're basically running back with your soul. I say soul. It's not. You actually move back with your phantasm nervous system, like your nerves run back, to take control of the body again. So you're just a thing of like raw nerves that are making their way back, slinking to the corpse. It's like phantasmal nerves or ectoplasmic nerves. There's a reason I'm doing that, but it has to do with the story. And I do have a story for this that's slowly going to go out as we build and do stuff. For the next guest, at the end, they can leave one message for the guest. Yes, the actual agony of that. That's why the rapid fire questions, you get them wrong, you don't get hit points back, your nerve touches something that harms you as you're getting back to your body. You like it? And electricity is used. Electricity is used for powering undead in a lot of movies and in supernatural stuff. So that's kind of why I went with that as well. We need respawn points, but I don't want to call them respawn points. And I don't know if they're going to be graves that they can rise out of, or if they're going to be other bodies, or I haven't decided that. Or they're going to be like electrical points that they can spawn out of. But I need like camp bonfires basically, where you can rest and you respawn at that bonfire. So I'm thinking something like a religious token or a skull, because they're looking for their head. There may be other skulls that they fly in to come back. That's the other thing I thought about. They're missing their head, right? And they can never attach a head to their body normally. But eventually, I think they're going to unlock an ability to be able to use heads from monsters to grant them an ability. What do you guys think? I think it'd be like a piece of equipment. It's like gain of power. It's like if you grab a Medusa head and you attach it to yourself, it kind of floats above and your nerve system connects to it. Yes. And it'll give them a power. Basically give them the equivalent to like a scroll power in the game. Listening to the way they talk and scrolls being cast at day powers. No, they're not Kirby at all. I don't think a decaying head of a zombie that gives them a bite attack is Kirby. Sorry, AW. Yeah, is there conditions in this game? That's a really good question. Looking through this, is there condition mods? Because I don't remember seeing conditions. Oh, here's the page number right here. Oh, this isn't that bad. They broke it down pretty well. That guy made this sound way worse. You know what I mean? He made this sound like it was a pain in the ass. Let me grab a pen here. Hold on. I need one that has color in it. I need a pen with color. I think I put a new one in there. Let's pull this bad boy up. So what is it? It's page 19. Class, so creation, page 19. Wish I would have known that. I might make a class. Also conditions, you think there's some? Like, it could be you're just not the brightest because you're a grunt. Yeah, there could be a whole bunch of stuff. So the concept for the character is you are a knight. Hold on a minute. Let me go to the solo GM scene here. I know this is going to be corpse talk. Or, sorry. Yeah, this is Dragonlance. So let's change this immediately. All right, so we're going to go to the solo frame. And then I'm going to put a video background in here. Give me a sec. We're going to put a video in the background. Media source. And then we'll move this all the way down. Oh, look, I did it. It's done. These are all going to get cleaned up eventually, so. Let me resize myself here. There, now I can kind of talk to you in full screen. Because I miss not having a full screen option. So, the goal for the game is you are going to be born out of a coffin. You're an undead knight that's missing their head. Literally, the top half of your coffin is broken open. There's a mark with the sinew and black stained blood in the inside of this royal coffin. The knight was killed, and all of his belongings are taken along with his head. He was gifted the head by his god. I believe that's going to be a matrice. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. And that god gives you the voice of creation. The head does. The voice of creation was taken from you with the head by the main bad guy in the show. So you are seeking the head of creation. That is why the slogan is "Find your head, save the world." With it, this deity, this eldritch-like being, has been growing aberrations throughout their world and using the head of creation to do such things. The head of creation can only create so much at a time, so it is slowly growing and changing. Which is why once a month, we are sitting down and changing monsters, giving them aberrational qualities, giving them eldritch powers, things like that for the show. And then you are able to grab other heads to use them to grant powers. And I'm thinking about making a head for each one of the guests that show up. So if one of our guests is from Paizo, I will give them a golem-esque head that they find, and that golem-esque head is going to give them an ability for the show. Have it be damage reduction, but they can't cast spells during the show, right? And then if Rob Schwab comes on, I'm going to give him a wizard head that is this all beard, overgrown, fur-covered head that's decaying because it has to be a dead creature. And maybe he gets a spell that nobody else gets when Rob's on the show. And so on, and so on, and so on. And the goal is the head represents the guest, while the actual body represents the show and the journey of going through the interview. All right? So that's how I would explain what the show is and what it is about. A hat for every look, when I have for every season. Holy shit, that is amazing. It's not what I meant, but I do really like that. That's a genius statement. Very good. Very good, Serving Hands. I dig that quite a lot. So let's go back to the work section. And I want to do this, and I'm going to tie this to the work. Let's see. So, pretty simple. So I like this character creation. What I need to see is if we have... I want to see if I have a character sheet. I want to see if we have a character sheet. Because I want to rough make a character and see if we can make the knight as a test run. Thanks. I love it. It's great. All right, so I'll just pull this over. You can see all the games that I have. So let's see. RPG books, Mork, Borg, Dark Fort sheet, Dark Fort, Tombs, Membrane, Rules reference, Black Powder. Ready. Is there not a form-fill character sheet? There might not be a form-fill character sheet, everybody. Huh. Let me look at something here. Do we not have a form-fill character sheet? Mork, Borg. Form fillable. Polyhedral Nonsense says there's one. Yeah, here it is. There's one. Is this the sheet he was showing? That's what I was like, I know there is one. Show and folder. All right, there we go. That's better. So let's bring this up. So we have the form fill here. So this would be the knight. What do we want to call this? So if this is all part of the design, if we are talking about the game being a design based around the body, I don't want to call it the knight's body. The headless knight is okay. We need a word for like someone who wears heads or something like that. This is not the headless horseman. It's not the headless horseman. Let me... I want it to be... Need ideas. You know what? We're going to do this. If you've never used this, this is awesome. Are there... Is there a term for a headless knight? Here we go. A headless knight is often referred to as a Dullahan or a Gan Shen, originating from Irish folklore. Dullahan is a type of unseelie fairy, often depicted as a headless rider on the back of a horse, carrying their own grinning head under one arm, so the headless horseman. In your Corpse Talk Rules meme, you mentioned creating a headless knight. Are you thinking of incorporating some elements of the Dullahan myth in your design? So, this is why I like this. This allows it to look through my chat and come up with ideas. Right? Which is cool. And I can say, yes, I am. Do you have access to the Mork Borg rules? So it's asking for Mork Borg rules. So I'm going to cut this. We're going to go back to here. We're going to put this lore from the Headless Knight here. Now we have access to it, right? And then what I'm going to look up, I'm going to see if we have, what's the rules I'm looking for here? Mork Borg rules in Word format. So there's rules references. And what I'm trying to find is one that's just text-based. Oh, this is fucking cool looking. Maybe I'll make a character sheet. Curious but uncertain, want to see PDF, scrivener. Need billions of accursed labyrinths and murder tombs. This is pretty cool. This will be... Actually, we're going to open this up to look at later. Use this monster generator. I'm seeing if there is... I would have to go through and copy the rules in to build the rules. That's how I'd have to do it. I love this webpage, by the way. So clean. So I can't use these, right? But I can use compatible with. Fucking awesome. This fucking company is so cool. Well, is it? I don't think it is. I'm looking for someone who wrote a blog article. Oh, maybe it is. Oh my God, I think you are right, Katie. I think you're right. Holy shit. So I'll have to go through here and pull rules, and then I can teach it rules. And once it knows rules, it can reference them as I'm building. All right, we got to add this to my to-do list. Add Mork Borg rules into mem. It's like I have this stuff, right? So, with that said, let's talk about this then. So we know what a headless knight is called now. Actually, let me do the full screen. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. Let's do the full screen. So we know that I'm going to move this over, right? So you guys can see both at once. We know that the rules are pretty clean. We know that they work well. We know what a headless knight is. And we have a conversation with it, right? So let's go back to talking with our chat. Yes, this will be the guest character that is passed from each guest being interviewed to the next one. What do classes look like in Mork Borg? What do classes look like? I want to see what's in a class. Because this will probably help us design what the fuck we're doing. Is there classes somewhere in here? Ah, here we go. Is this the classes here? I feel like these are it. Okay. So it looks like it begins with some money, omens, toughness. So Fang Deserter, you have 30 or so friends who never let you down. Your teeth. Disloyal, deranged, or simply uncontrollable, any group that didn't boot you out or left you anyway They're a parliament of teeth, enormous, protruding, thick, sharp, but have always been your allies. You get a bite attack that's a D10 to attack. Oh, sorry, DR10 to attack, so you have to hit DR10. D6, and you must be close to your target. On a 1 to 2, you must be close to your target. 1 to 2 on a D6 chance the enemy gets a free attack. So you're a good biter, but they get to hit you. So every time you bite, you gotta roll a D6. Okay, I like these rules. They're all kind of a risk-reward scenario. Can you help me design the headless knight class? This is what we want to do. We want to design the class. How did it know this? What the fuck? How did it know the Mork Borg rules? I haven't put them anywhere. Maybe I referenced them somewhere? This is amazing. So right now it says class Headless Knight, Dullahan, HP 6 or whatever standard for your game, morale, or adjust if your game's mechanics, which they don't have morale, that's monsters. Armor, D6, it's a spectral being. The Dullahan may have some natural protection. We're obviously going to change that. Starting equipment, a spectral whip, human spine with attached head that can see in the dark. That is an amazing Mork Borg ability. Wow. Dullahan detached head can see in complete darkness up to a certain range. This could be fixed with distance or perhaps dice to add some unpredictability. Unbarred passage, no door or gate can stay closed to Dullahan. This can allow the character to pass through doors, gates as if they were open, because it's spectral. Dullahan can attach the heads of defeated enemies to gain their power. This could provide a temporary boost. And this here, it's reading our Mork Borg piece that we're already designing. Boost to certain stats or abilities. I think this is the ability we're going to use. And then headless, the Dullahan's head must be carried or stowed in a pack. If the head is lost or destroyed, Dullahan suffers penalties until it can recover a new head to attach. So maybe we have some decap rules for losing a head. Oh my god, that means when you beat boss monsters, you could get their power. It's got a little bit of like a Mega Man style to it too. I absolutely love that. Huh. In folklore, Dullahans are afraid of gold. You could incorporate this by having the Dullahan suffer penalties when it's in presence of gold, or perhaps they cannot approach anyone bearing a gold object. I love this fear. Because if they're a knight, worldly possessions are not allowed. Well, this is a great start, right? I'm gonna say these are really good. Let me give you some samples of the format for classes in Mork Borg. So let's go back to this PDF. Where was it? So here's how this works. We go here. We're going to go back. We're going to go back here. I'm going to create a new mem. This is going to be Mork Borg rules. These are the Mork Borg rules for reference. Same. From the open license material. Okay? So we're going to go boom, boom, classes. I think it's optional classes, right? Optional. So we're going to go like this. And this is how I do this stuff. We're going to make this normal. Let's shrink this back. Okay. And then we're going to go back in here. And let's grab their ability here. I'm just going to download this. This is too hard to fucking use. Page 46. View. To get ahead, you gotta find yours. Yeah, dude, I have so many slogans. For one of the t-shirts, I want to put a cut line here, right? Or a piece that says, find your head, save the world. And the shirt you pull up above your head and take pictures for photo ops. And your friend stands behind you. So you basically line two people up. I think it'd be great. And there'll be a green screen on site to take photos. I'm super excited for it. So, scroll. Right? Why can't I select this? This is really weird. We're gonna edit this PDF. Oh, they're individual fucking words. These are really hard to fucking grab. Can I grab it from this easier? Abilities. Built like a bull. Well, that's different. Built like a bull is not the same. Where's it have built like a bull? I see bite attack. Oh, here it is. Bold. See, I hate when formatting. I found a site to redo this formatting because it's so fucking annoying to have to redo this goddamn formatting yourself every time. Right? Like, it just sucks. And this is earliest memories. And we're going to use this one as a sample for it. Okay? Keep drawing on myself. So this should be down one. And where's bite attack? Does it say? Here we go. So we're gonna go down. We're just gonna redo this. Hey, Star Drew! We are working on designing the rules and understanding the rules of Mork Borg to design. We've been talking with my AI and mem to help this process. It has worked very well. And then Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Connected. So it's going to be at. Oops, I did that wrong. That's going to be at corpse talk rules. And then it'll be at corpse talk checklist. All right. These are connected. You'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go like this. 1, 2, 3. I want this butted up to it if it'll let me do it for formatting. It will. All right. So this is the rough first one. I think the only thing left to add is this. Can I even... Might be too hard to grab that. I might have to do it from here. Cut. Paste. And we're going to go like this. You'll see why I'm doing this, because once I do this, I can teach Mem the format to help me quick format this stuff. So you spend a little bit of time the first time around, and then after you do this, it knows how to do it, which makes, you know, working alone as a solo creator a lot faster. Mostly just for formatting is what I use it for. To get my roughs down. Like, obviously, it's not going to be print level quality, but it allows me to have a good organized way to look at all my notes and make sure that they look good and that they function. So I'm going to go like this. Enter. 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 And now we're going to highlight it. And then we're going to put it in a... Which one's number list? Okay, and then we'll just delete the numbers in between. Right. Boom. And then this is, what is this considered? Also begin with the following. So cap locks, bold. Yeah, so like Jay or Riddles and I were saying the other day, it's really not a brain. It is a computer that learns as you go and helps with day-to-day tasks. And it is really good for doing this kind of stuff. So now I have this in here, right? So this is reference. Is there anything else that gets added? So do we have earliest memories? We have earliest memories here. I'm gonna go like this. And then we're going to go down one, and we're going to delete, and we're going to go here and delete. And we have the abilities here. We're going to go down one, we're going to go like this, and we're going to delete that, like that. 1, 2, 3. And we got to get rid of this formatting here. And then we highlight all this like so, and format, okay? So we have this nice formatted piece, optional classes, right? Oh, I should probably put the fucking name of this class. This is Fanged Deserter, right? And we'll do this as we'll do this as a 2, and we'll do this as a 1, like so. Okay. So now what we do, oops, we go here, we go to our corpse talk rules, we swap them right? We go back into our chat and say, can you reformat and add to the above using the Mork Borg optional class is as reference for ideas, styles, and random tables to create the headless knight. So we're going to do this, and we're going to see what it comes up with, and then we can always change it from there. So while it's generating this, for those who just showed up, we're doing a couple things. I really wanted to create... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Star Drew, it doesn't matter. It's just copy and paste it in. It's just reference material. I'm not trying to perfect what it is right now. I mostly want it to just strictly look at the format to make the format for it. You'll see why in a second. It's generating it right now. And that's a cut and paste in. So it just cut from there and pasted it in for the 50 health and shit. I mean, that's literally what it looks like. I don't know. I think it's their weird font text. So as it's generating this, we're making the Headless Knight for the guest stars to play as, and I wanted a class. I think the class makes the most sense for it, right? We don't want to not have a class for the main thing that we're playing on the show. We'll have to come up with a headless table. I think I'm going to do like a D100 or a D66 table for different heads you can get off monsters. And every monster we have has the ability to give you a head. And I think the way it's going to work is if you crit somebody, you can pull their head and use it. That's my current game plan for in-game for the guest star. That's their only real rule for combat. All right, so we're done generating. Let's take a look at this. I think it formatted this pretty clean. So you're a special figure of terror, the headless knight known as Dullahan. Your head, which you carry under your arm, which we will change that because you're not carrying it, obviously. To see the darkest night, and no door or gate can bar your path. Yeah, we'll correct stuff after surgery. It's not important. 6 hit points, 11 morale. This morale will go away because there's no morale. Armor is a D6. I don't know if we're going to give them... I guess we should give them armor because they are operating on their own. I think if they're in their body, they would get their armor. Spectral sight. Your detached head can see in complete darkness. Roll a D6 for the range in meters. I think this will be great. I think all heads that they have will give them spectral sight, but they'll only have that if they have a head. There's a lot of times that the knight won't have a head. I have an idea. You can attach heads or defeat enemies to gain their power. Roll a D6 for the type of power you gain. Fears, headless, you must be carried or stowed in a pack. If lost or destroyed, suffer a penalty until it can be recovered or a new head is attached. I don't know what I'm going to do for that. I'll have to figure out something for that. Fear of gold, you cannot approach anyone bearing a gold object. In the presence of gold, suffer a penalty. So they can't approach it, but they can approach you. You also begin with one of the following D6s. A cloak made from the darkest night. It gives you advantage on stealth checks. I don't think the rules have advantages. Serving Hands, I know you've played this a decent amount. Do you remember it having advantages in the game? Like, I don't remember there ever being an advantage. I'm looking here. Correct. Maybe all the holy stuff from where they're from is in silver or gem or iron. Maybe it's cast iron to give that gothic feel. But I don't think there's advantage in this game. So they're already using some 5e rules because that's the most common thing. So we'll have to go through and change that. Yeah, I didn't think so. Omens, right? There's just omens. So there are advantages in this game, though? Hold on here. No, only message ever is disadvantage. So no. There is no advantage, disadvantage. Right, yeah, I know you start with omens. All right, so we'll have to refresh some of this. So I'm gonna tell it this works. This is pretty close. But I need a few changes. There is no morale for PCs, only for monsters. So remove from the stat block the stat block. The knight has a physical body made of an undead corpse and heavy armor. So the spectral unbarred passage will only work. Boy. What if all the gates in this aberrational place are covered in gold? Gold gilded and changed so that he can't walk through locked doors. Locked doors have a gold lock, which would let him keep this unbarred passage for doors and gates. Maybe when they are dead and running back to their corpse as a... Ectoplasmic is one word. Ectoplasmic field of the nervous system that walks. I like it for the way back. Yeah, gold hinges, maybe gold filigrees for certain doors. There also isn't advantage or dis. Oh, it gives you an advantage on stealth. There is an advantage and disadvantage. Can you replace it with... Are there items that give you bonuses? Like gear bonuses? Like, how do they handle gear? How do they handle gear? Where's the gear at? As I know, most of the time, gear lets you do something. Huh. Well, the basic gear does not. Basic gear is like, you need the equipment to do the job. But yeah, horses gear. You are right about that. Is there magical items? Maybe ability. Now it's ability scores. Huh. Powers. This is probably the closest thing right here. So nothing's like a +1 in this game. It's all like D2 for the low end. Creature of your choice gains 2d6 extra HP for 10 rounds. Nothing's a bonus to hit. I see scrolls, so there's unclean. And then there's sacred. Broken bodies. Let's go to creatures. Outcasts. I don't think there is magical items. Let's check something here. Did they ever do magical items in here? I know there's tablets, which this comes from the Jewish one, I believe that they did, right? It was like all Jewish religious parallels. I don't see a random item generator at all. What's this? Heroic feats. This might be a nice thing to add to heads. Well, you can't use gold, Starger. You're afraid of them. But yeah, like if there's gold on something, like you'll have penalties when you're fighting them, so you're gonna want to like disarm them. If someone's wearing like a gold necklace and things like that, you're gonna run into issues as well. You can't be paid in gold. These are cool. I'm gonna download this as well. This is not what we're looking for, but it's good. Eat, Pray, Kill. Overland Travel. This is going to be something I'm going to be using a lot in the game. Like how to do it. So we're going to download that. Save it. Close it. Prophet. The Pale One. Skinwalker. French. Okay, cool. I don't see anything for bonuses for equipment. So I think looking through this in the game, weapons give you damage, armor reduces damage, equipment is basically lets you do stuff like you have a horse. So instead of this providing advantage on stealth checks, there's no magic items at all. Let's open up that feat thing really quick. We don't need both of these. Let's open this up and see what we got. Where was the feats? Screen, demons, overland travel, ziggurat. Yeah, it's scroll instead of magic. Yep. There it is. View. Yeah, it's a really clean, which is why it's going to be great for interviews. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? I just want to see what kind of bonuses these give. See if they have anything for stealth. Hide. Let's try disguise. Skinner. Skin crawls and enriches constantly. Constantly scabbing for food. Skin of other beings may solace. You may wear the skin of a creature you recently killed to disguise yourself and look, sound, and even smell like them. The skin decays after 1 to 4 hours. Okay. See if there's any words for shadow. You can never be the victim of a surprise attack. Additionally, so what if instead for that it is you take initiative on 3+ instead, as long as it's nighttime. You know what I mean? Place with under the cloak of darkness. Your initiative is on a 3+, letting them go first more frequently. So I misspelled that like a motherfucker. All right. 3+. See if there's anything else in here. Boom. Let's see what it does. If this regenerates it properly, we basically made the Headless Knight class, and we can quickly make our character. Look at this shit. God, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited to run this talk show. I cannot wait. Bite-sized, easy character sheets. It'll work great for a talk show mentality and a style for it. I can't wait. All right, took the morale out. I love the spectral whip. This is great. Spectral ability, spectral sight. Attached head can see in complete darkness. Roll d6. They didn't change this. Spectral sight. When dead and running back to your corpse, you can pass through doors and gates as if they were open. Unbarred passage. Okay, well, I might rename that. This is solid. All right, I'm going to copy this. We're going to go back to our mem. We're going to go here, and we're going to paste it. So paste the format. I hate when it does this. It did not copy the formatting. I'm going to hit mem it, and we're going to view it. Okay, that worked. And we're going to go 1, 2. Then we're going to copy this. And we're going to go here. Paste it. So now we've made our piece, right? So I'm going to blow this up because we got to make some changes to this, right? Like this works, but it's not 100%. Let me move this. So we love this class. Headless Knight, the Dullahan. I don't think there's a spectral figure of terror that reanimates its corpse reanimates its headless corpse. Okay. I'll just put corpse. A headless knight known as Dolahan. We may rename this. I don't know if I want it to be called the Dolahan. The headless knight is probably what I'm going to call it. Your head, which is missing. Your head. The voice of creation has been stolen. Now, carry whatever head you can find. And go like that. Boom. Problem solved. Stolen. Creation. 6 hit points. Is that pretty good, Serving Hands? From your time playing, is 6 hit points decent? Like, is that too much? Like, let's go to page 46 here. I'm just curious as to what all these classes get. This is a D10. But you gotta remember, no one's playing with you, though. You know what I'm saying? No one's playing with you. It's your hermit. Royalty. Is there hit points for every class? I think it should be toughness plus a d6. Right? That should be it should be toughness plus 1d6. Because we want these to go fast. And we don't want them to have a lot of questions. And they need to be able to die enough and earn their way to being more powerful. They're starting with a d6. Fuck them. Fuck them. That's why. Spectral whip, human spine, detached head that can see in the dark, and heavy armor. Login Devon. Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I'm just probably going to call it the Headless Knight. Because it's the voice of creation, or the head of creation, and the body of something. And I don't know what the body is going to be. That's what I need to figure out. I'll come up with that as we go. Head swap. You can attach the heads of defeated enemies to gain their powers. Roll a d6 for one type of power you can gain. So here's the thing. How many items can you hold? Strength plus 8 items, or DR plus 2 on agility/strength test. So you can hold 8 items. Is that how that works? Okay. So I'm just gonna put Headless Knight. All right. We're gonna save this file. Save as. We're gonna put him in our computer. We're gonna put him in choose a different folder. It's going to go under. Actually, no. I will save it there. Actually, save as Mork Borg, and this is going to be Headless Knight. Start. Save. All right. It's Headless Knight. We got to roll hit points or roll stats. Fuck it. All right, everybody. Someone do exclamation point 3d6. We need it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Exclamation point 3d6 4 times. We're gonna get our stats. We're gonna make it right now. That's how you make them. That's my understanding. Right? The body is weak. You can carry up to 8 during the episode. But you only get to start with 1d2. Passed on from the last person to you. That's a 16. That's good. Let's go to character creation. I wrote it down. It's on page 19. If you're using a class, does the class override this? Anybody else here? Give me 3d6. 3d6 in chat. If Star Drew or Todd or AW were here, go ahead and make rolls. Serving hands, don't roll them all. I'm not in a rush. We'll see if anybody else is here. Like, I want to roll the knight. I want to know all of its abilities. How powerful are you, dear knight? Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy? Oh, 5. All right, so I'll take the 16 and the 5 so far. I need one more from somebody else. Kyle, I saw you got a secret shirt. Once you get it, scan the name tag in the back, and I will get you into the secret council on our Discord. Thank you for purchasing. I'm wearing my secret shirt today, actually. I didn't even think about that. This is what they look like. Black on black, baby. I really like these. They turned out really good. And then the name tag you can't see, but on the back there'll be a piece of scan. Ah, you got a bounce doing. I see. Need one more person to roll. We got 2 of them. Right now we're designing Corpse Talk. Yesterday we designed all of our XD overlay layouts. The day before that we designed all of this. Actually, I can just show you. We designed all of this yesterday, or 2 days ago, which is the rough idea of what our overlays are going to look like, the fonts, the design, the style, and this is all for my upcoming talk show that I'm going to be doing. Interviewing people from not just the tabletop industry, but everything adjacent to our industry, from video games to even technologies to movies to script writers. And we're going to be using Mork Borg as the medium or the language between us as we play our way through an interview. Every time they are crit, or I should say every time they die, there's a chance they come back. D6. I need one more person to give me 3d6 from chat. I know there's more of you in here. I know there's more of you. We got 2 of them so far. I already wrote them down. We got a 16 and we got a 5. I need 2 more actually. 2 more. While we're waiting for people to roll that, the show is going to be pretty entertaining. I have some great ideas. These are just rough color concepts to match the Mork Borg system. Lots of interviews are going to come out of here, so I'm super excited for that. That was the rough that we made. This is the ad that I made as well. Here. 3d6, Candace. 3d6. Exclamation point 3d6. Now 1d6. We're rolling stats for our night. So that's what we've been working on. Right now, we are designing the rules for the show. We're making our headless knight. And then I'm going to stat it out on our character sheet that we have here. Right now, we got a 16, a 5. I think that was the next one from Kyle. I'm serving hands. Kyle. Man, 3d6 and a 5. That's horrible. 7 from Candace. And we need one more from somebody. We'll move them around. Those are really low. Those are really, really low. 16 is fire, though. This is a fantastic roll. Because when we go into here, and I think, my understanding is it replaces character creation, right? I think classes supplement. I think. Effects and the curse of things, okay. It's casters. Optional classes. I just don't know if the classes go on top of the character. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. I think they go on top. because you create a character this way. Randomize your starting equipment on this page, which we have our own random starting equipment. Randomize your weapon and armor. We already did that. Roll your abilities, which is what we're doing now. Roll your hit points. Name your character if you wish. It will not save you. And the stats are 3d6. So we need one more person to do stat for 3d6. Randomizing a class on 46 and on. And follow the class instructions for rolling the equipment, weapons, and armor. Roll on the table, pages 3 or 4. So where are stats at? Is it before this? It is a little all over the place. Abilities, here we go. All right, we're just gonna take Kyle's 7, I guess. We don't have enough people who rolled. We don't have a fourth person here, even though there are more of you in here, but we'll take it. We'll take it. So we got a 6, 5, 7, 7. So let's go to our stats. A lot of penalties in this game, just as a heads up. My rolls suck tonight. It's all right. It's all right. You generate tables. What? No. Tables on the right generate each ability score from -3 to +3. The sum is not used in the game for the character. The player, your characters not created with the optional classes can roll 4d6 and drop the lowest. We did not. 3d6 because we are using the optional classes. So 7s are -1. So my thing is do you just put the bonus in here? Do you not put your stats? I'm gonna put them here. 16, 5, 7, 7. These are -1s to your bonus. This is bad. Okay. What's a 16? +2. Okay. All right. And then for our knight, do we have anything else that we designed here? We need a D6 plus our toughness. So someone give me a D6. Our toughness is low. Our toughness is low. I feel like classes might get a bonus. Give me a... I want to change this to a D10. No, D6 is fine. We want to be able to run back to the body often, actually. See you serving hands. Someone give me a D6. This is going to be the hit points. It's -1. See if there's any other bonuses. Oh, okay. I am going to add this. We're going to do ability scores. Abilities. Roll 3d6 plus 2 for toughness and 3d6 minus 2 for agility. So we have a low agility. So this would give us a +2, which would have been a +1 in total. And agility would be at a -2. We're bad at agility, good toughness. 6, 7 hit points to start, which is good. So that's how that goes. All right. So done there. Agility -2 means we're at a -2 there. Okay. All right, so that's done. Done. With that said, starting equipment. We know they have a spectral whip. Spectral spinal whip. Okay. So spinal whip. All right, so Spectral Spinal Whip. This is damage. So let's look at weapons. Let's go to equipment. I just want to see what random weapon damage is, right? Weapons. This is the weapons table, by the way, if you've never seen it. How dope is this? It's just a body with shit in it. Scroll down. Flail's a D8. I'm kind of thinking a D8. I think a flail. So I think it's going to be a D8. So it'll be D8. Boom. Done. Spectral Spinal Whip. Armor. Our armor is a heavy armor, which is a D6. A D6. I'll have to look up armor. I want to look how armor works here. Oops, wrong thing. Wrong one. Armor. Light, tier 1. No armor. Tier 1 Fertipal. Okay, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I've been lurking the past few days during this show. Have indie popcorn. What's indie popcorn, Kyle? What is that? I'm interested. Explain more, good sir. What is indie popcorn? Is it something fun? I hope. Yeah? I hope it's fun. Shield would be nice for him to get eventually. Heavy armor, splint plate, etc. -6 damage, tier 3. DR 4. DR +4 on agility test. I don't know what that means. DR +4 on agility test. Oh, agility test of +4. That'd be a 6 for him. He's so bad at it. And my defense is +2, so instead of a 10, it would be a 12, I believe. Where is it at, Kyle? What state's it in? Is it local? Is it close to me? Because, bro, if it is close to this state, Wisconsin this weekend, I'll swing out. I'm in Milwaukee. If it's not, then take pictures and have fun, obviously. So I want to look at weapons again. Is it two-handed or one-handed? Flail is one-handed. Okay, cool. And then, so we have our HP. Violence must be combat. A lot of things are DR12s. So that means our armor is a 14. Is that correct? Agility plus D6. We know that. Oh, it's in Indiana. Oh, okay. ICC Indiana. Gotcha. So they do Gen Con, and now they do another one right afterwards. Is it just one of the event halls? Because that convention centers, I mean, I've been going to Gen Con before. When it was out here, I was going. Like, it's big. So is that Gen Con, is that place just like one of the halls? And how, were you at Gen Con this year? How the fuck did we not meet up? If we didn't meet up at Gen Con and you were there, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Very disappointed. All right. So, it looks like players roll for both their attacks and defenses. Creatures and enemies don't roll dice in combat. Melee test is strength, DR12. Range is presence, DR12. Defense is test agility, DR12. If you fail, the enemy hits you. Enemies attack you once per round. So it says that the armor gives you a +2. Yeah, I think this should be a D8. You roll max. I'm going to up his hit points. So 8, 9. I think he's going to need more hit points. Broken, dead. Initiative. I need to look up what your defense is. How defense works. Like, I want to know if you're rolling defense and the armor gives you a +2, does that armor give me 2 to my defense when monsters roll against me? Or is it a +2 to your roll versus defense? You know what I'm saying? Look here. It says DR is 2. Let's find out where it explains DR. It's only 22 spots. Let's go back. Roll a d20, ability equal to or greater than DR to succeed. Creatures don't add ability, only roll an unmodified DR, a d20 against DR. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I know you do the 501st stuff. Oh. How was the soccer game? Did you have fun? Let's see here. So that means, okay, I understand. Its agility test is 4. Defense is 2+. So your defense for armor ends up being +2, which makes it a 14 that I am rolling against a hit. Okay. I don't know 1, 2, and it's a tier 3, so it's D6. Okay. All right, so that's cool. Headless. I'm gonna put this in here. That's too hard to read. We're gonna put headless. Headless. Stow or carry. That's kind of a problem. And then we're gonna give them Fear of Gold. Can't approach. And presence. And presence. +1 DR. Pretty easy. I'm gonna make this an amber sand because it takes less space. Okay. Oh, that's fucking awesome, Kyle. I still want to get me some armor for Star Wars. I just haven't had time. I'm so excited for the new Ahsoka series. All right. So now we begin with one of the following. Someone give me a D6. Something they're going to start with. D6. D6. I'm going to grab this description and add this afterwards. A 3. Whoever plays him first is starting with a bag of bones you can use to distract enemies, which I like. Bag of bones. Use it to distract enemies. Good. Good. No head powers yet. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I don't know if there's the earliest memory. We're gonna give him the spectral whip up here. I'm gonna delete this one. Memory. Creating the tune you are in. That's what I'm gonna put for that. So that's good. And now I need to look up omens. So let's save him again. So omens is a different thing in this game. I have not used them in a while, so we're gonna quickly check omens. Omens. Clearly the eyes or other powers are upon you. Eldritch Watchers of the tangled fates of alternate worlds. Call it luck if you'd like. Every class gains a number of omens. If you play without classes, every character begins with D2 omens. When depleted, roll classes designated die, D2, playing without classes, and regain that many omens after resting for 6 hours. You use omens to deal maximum damage with one attack, or re-roll a die of yours or someone else's, lower your damage dealt to you by a d6, neutralize a crit or a fumble, lower one test's DR by -4. Okay. We're gonna change these rules because of how the guests show up. I'm going to go to here. We're going to go underneath here. We're going to do omens. Omens. Each guest gains 1 omen for each item they bring to possibly add to the treasury. Right? That's the game plan. Is there a max? There's no max. The Headless Knight starts with with 0. So if they want to bring an item and just add it to the treasury, automatically they get 1. And then for every time the guest star dies, an item they bring gets added to the treasury, which is pretty cool. So the goal is always to kill them at least once to get their item into the treasury. That's the game plan. So I think a lot of times the way it'll work, in my vision, is let's say we have a publisher show up. All right, so that's the first person. When a publisher shows up, you're going to see them bring like a hard copy of something and then some PDFs. And those PDFs will go in the treasury. And then the hard copies will go in the treasury. So they bring 3 items, they would get 3 omens out of the game. It's the only way to get them. They do not get them with the rest because there's no rest. Rest is between shows. I think this is a great way to handle this. So our Headless Knight's done. I just created our starting character show. I do love that it says silver down here too. Very important. And then every time we do one of these mini-series up to this, I'm going to do something special, but I'm not going to say what it is. Something is going to happen after 6 interviews. And every 6 interviews, something happens. It's going to be a big thing. So omens start with 0. That's how it goes. I don't think they get any other gear. They get 1 item. We go back to character creation, which I think was page 16. 19. Do you roll for these? Randomize your starting equipment on this page. Start by choosing or randomizing a class. And follow the class instructions for rolling for equipment, weapons, and armor. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that is all you get. Roll on table pages 39 to 43. Roll omens. So I think this supersedes this. I think it supersedes that. And I even think when you use the character generator, this one, I think it does the same thing. Oh, you got more equipment here. I guess you do roll these. All right, everybody, so let's roll these too. Give me a D6, and then I need 2 people or 2 rolls of D12s as well for this. And that'll get us our options. D6 has got 1 to 2 is nothing. Backpack for 7 normal-sized items. Sack for 10 normal-sized items. Small wagon, or 1 item above of your choice. A donkey, not bad. A D12 and a D12. So let's get a D6, a D12, and a D12 here. I want to roll one of them. I want to roll one of the D12s. I love rolling 1 D12s. Let's see what we get. I'm going to do the last table. A 5. We get exquisite perfume worth 25 silver. So I'm going to put that here. Okay. And we can get one more person to roll a D6 and a D12. Another 5. We'll do this table. Random unclean scroll. Random unclean scroll. So unclean scrolls are big. Really big. Then we need a D6. A 3. Backpack is huge. Now they can carry all their shit. Now they can carry their shit. I'm going to put N-sized items to give it a little bit more space, I think. Because then it's a little easier to read. Okay, so they can carry their shit. So now we got to do our unclean scroll that they start with. Unclean scroll. Unclean scroll. All right, everybody. It's unclean scroll time. Are you ready? Unclean scrolls are a D10. 1 D10. What could go wrong with this? What could go wrong? Again, everything is the answer. While you're doing that, these dungeon rollers are really cool. One D10. Palms open the southern gate. Tongue of Iris. I don't know what this one says. Ttrpgfamily? Ttrpgfamily? I think it's telekinesis is what it is. Telekinesis, yeah. Fires the levitation. Hover for presence. Okay. Cool. Daemon of capillaries. Cool. Vine of violet signs. Okay, cool. Foul cycle pomp. This is awesome. You get to summon monsters. This could be a saving grace if he gets this. You do have to activate the scrolls, though. 7. What is this? Unknot the storms. Violent signs. Produce D2 lightning bolts each. Deal. Okay. So violet storms. And it's D2 lightning bolts. Let's make this smaller. Boom, boom, boom. Get rid of the word produce. Bring this up. D2 lightning bolts. D6 damage each. Unclean scroll. Done. I'm going to move this. And this should be bag of bones. We're going to copy this and move it here. And we're going to delete this. Okay, so we have our Undead Knight done. So not only today did we create Undead Knight, we created our class for the Headless Knight, right? Using our ChatGPT mem integration. We created a whole thing for it. We know we need to design rules for the soul run back. Rapid fire questions, 1 HP for each right answer when you get back to your body. We know the equipment heads of monsters can be attached to gain power. It should be gain a power from the monster, right? Monster build rules. I need to design this so that when we do our once a month build, which is going to be at the end of this month, using stream loot cards to build monsters for our dungeon. And then for those who are wondering, our first dungeon is going to be, pull this up. I think I showed this, but I want to showcase it again because Amolith is kindly giving us 2 maps to use for the show. I might actually, are they in here? Hold on. The first one here is this nice, gorgeous red one that we're going to be using. That's one of them. And the other one is the green map that they did. That's a 2-part. I think this is where we're going to start. This is going to be the first dungeon for the show to get a little bit of that grit and grime feel for stuff. So I'm excited for that. These are the 2 maps we're using for the show. So we have that. I have the interview rules. Every offer to the treasury gains them an item and 1 omen. And 1 omen when they die. They get an omen when they die. I like that. That's better. Every death triggers a soul run / corpse run. Raw ectoplasmic nervous system used to move and control the Headless Knight. Every rapid fire question, they get 1 hit point back on the way. At the end, they roll a D2 for items they leave for the next guest. And then I think I'm going to have audience roll the items that the guest starts with on the D6, D12, D12 tables. And I think I'll make some new ones as we go through. At the end, they can leave 1 message to a guest. How many words is Dark Souls allow you to use? Do you know? Does anyone know? How many Dark Souls, how many words in a message can be left? It's 6 messages per person. How many words? Like, we need to limit it. We need to limit it. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say 6 words. 6 words must be vague. Or 5 words. 5 words. Let's do that. Bonfires are where they respawn at to run to their corpse. Maybe I'll change it. It won't be bonfires. It'll be something else. So we've done that. We've done a lot in 3 days. So now I take the weekend and I start doing overlay work, like a shit ton of overlay work. I start designing all the overlays. I will start designing all of our cards. And then next week on Monday, 4 p.m., we will start doing all of the overlays, laying them out in here under the template we have, and creating corpse talk. So I'm pumped. I think this is going to be a great concept. For those who showed up late, let me give you the rundown on why we're doing this. And actually, just for the end of the show, because I can clip this and share it out. So design days are me right now designing a brand new talk show called Corpse Talk. Find your head, save the world. Guests come on to be interviewed. They play this headless knight. The headless knight is roaming through the world trying to find its head that has been taken from it at death. This head that they once had is the mouth or voice of creation. Now that the bad guy, the big bad, I think Dr. Claw, has this item, he is slowly taking this perfect world that you have created and turning it into this aberrational eldritch nightmare. So this is gonna be a talk show where the audience gets to come once a month, help build up the monsters, build the bosses, really level them up to something bigger, badder, and better than they were the show before. And every guest that comes on to get interviewed is gonna try to find their head, fight their way through, and bring items to put into the treasury upon death. I do reward them for dying though. When they die, they do get an omen. I feel that's fair in this world that we're building. So that is the concept for Corpse Talk. I'm excited to do this. I have over 40 people lined up to come on this. And that means at the end of each season, to be determined, you, the audience, will have a chance to roll on the tables to have things from the treasury shipped to you. This could be things from collector's editions, to books, to PDFs, to who knows, cameo time if I get a voice actor on. Really fun things that you can win with random rolls at the end of the season as we do our big drawing from the treasury, as we do our best as the audience and me as the GM to stop that guest from ever finding their head. So that is it today for Design Diaries. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, on this side over here, there's going to be the lovely little logo to pick. Click that. We're trying to get to 500 so we can add super chats and everything else. And if you like Design Diaries and you would like to see more of these, I'll be doing them every day next week, starting at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And follow me on all the social medias if there's a time change. That's it for me. And I guess for Design Diaries, I don't really have a sign off. Go make more shit. Stop sitting around. I'll talk to you guys all later, and I'll see you on Monday.